Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to dig into this really cool story. It's kind of like a treasure map with a secret message. So let's grab our virtual shovels and get right to it. Okay, but before we jump in, let me ask you something. What's the most valuable thing you can imagine? Like really imagine. A mountain of candy? An endless supply of video games? Seriously, think about it. What would you trade everything for? Just keep that thought in your head. All right, so let's get into this story itself. It's from the book of Matthew, and it's this short little parable about just a regular guy who finds something that completely changes his life. Forever. Now you gotta remember, back in those days, finding buried treasure, that wasn't just stuff you'd see in a pirate movie. It was a real thing. See, with robbers and armies marching around, people would bury their most valuable stuff to keep it safe. The ground was kind of like the original super secret bank vault. So picture this. There's a guy out plowing a field, and it's not even his field. When all of a sudden, clang, his plow hits something hard. So he digs down, and what does he find? A treasure chest. I mean, can you imagine? He's so pumped he quickly buries it again. Then, just filled with joy, he runs home and sells, well, everything he owns. His house, his donkey, his favorite sandals, gone. He takes all that money and uses it to buy that one field. His neighbors probably thought he'd lost his mind, but he knew the incredible secret that was buried just under the dirt. Okay, but here's the thing. This isn't just a fun story about getting rich. It's a parable, right? Which is basically a story with a secret code. So let's, pull out our decoder rings and figure out what this is all really about. So here's the secret code, all broken down for us. The idea is that the field in the story, that's the Holy Scriptures, the Bible. And that amazing treasure hidden inside it, well, that's the gospel. The good news, the truth about God. And in this view, that's the most valuable thing anyone could ever find. But that brings up a really big question, right? I mean, if this treasure, this truth, is so amazing and so important, why is it hidden? Why wouldn't it just be out in the open where everyone could see it? Well, the thinking here is that God doesn't actually hide the truth. The problem is, sometimes we do. It's like we're the ones piling dirt on top of it. Our own ideas, our own opinions, and we bury it without even realizing what we're doing. So what is all that dirt that covers up the treasure? Well, it can be a bunch of things. Maybe it's old traditions that we just accept without really thinking about them, or just believing what other people tell us. Sometimes it's because we care more about getting stuff, worldly riches, than we do about finding God's truth. And yeah, even pride, thinking we've got it all figured out. That can be a huge wall that blocks us from seeing the treasure that's right there. Okay, so this all leads to a really important question. Just how valuable is this treasure anyway? I mean, is it really worth giving up everything for, just like that man in the story did? Well, the Bible itself says this kind of wisdom, this truth, it's worth more than the most precious gems you can find. Just think about that for a second. We're not just talking about gold here. This treasure is more valuable than diamonds or rubies. So yeah, we're definitely not talking about some old pirate treasure here. One source actually calls the Bible the mine of the unsearchable riches of Christ. Finding the truth inside, well, it's presented as being worth more than all the gold on earth. And why? Because it's about understanding salvation. Okay, this is amazing. If this absolutely priceless treasure is just waiting for us in the Bible, then that leads to the biggest question of all, doesn't it? How do we start digging for it? How do we become treasure hunters? And you know what? That's the best part. This parable is not just some story to listen to. It's really an invitation. It's a challenge for you to grab a shovel and start your very own treasure hunt. But listen, it's really important to get this. Digging for this kind of treasure takes real effort. This isn't something you can be lazy about. You can't just glance at the Bible for a second and expect to find gold. Nope. You've got to be like that miner, willing to really put in the work to dig it up. So here's your official treasure hunting toolkit. First up, you need an open mind, one that's actually ready to learn something new. You also need an earnest heart, one that truly wants to find the truth. It also means you got to be willing to put your own opinions on the shelf if they don't match what you find. And you have to search with the same kind of energy you'd use if you were looking for real gold. And finally, a crucial part of the toolkit is prayer, just asking God to help you understand what you're reading. And this is the ultimate promise. If you search for this truth with all your heart, like you're digging for actual hidden treasure, You will be rewarded. You'll find the greatest treasure in the entire universe, the knowledge of God. So I guess the only question left is, are you ready to start digging?